Hello, my biddies. How are you? Had a little bit of problem there. Sorry about that. I was delayed because I needed to get dishes done. I woke up with a headache this morning, so I didn't do any of my usual stuff. I just sat and watched TV, mostly YouTube, for the morning. Sorry about that. I have no reality roundup today because of that. Um, yeah, I slept really good last night, probably because I had a headache. I'm still tired. I still got stuff to do. I gotta go back out and try and find nerd ropes. They may not be able to be found. I'll go with Five Below again. We didn't check the candy there. That would be the most likely place, I think. What else? What else? What else? What else? I am so ahead of Christmas. I don't even know what to do with myself. Usually we're like last minute, running out, day before Christmas Eve day today, Christmas Eve, finding last minute stuff for people, trying to figure out still what people want. Um, this year I got a little bit ahead of myself, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I think part of it is we didn't go out of town for my birthday, and that I think that helped a lot. So we got to go out of town next week or next month. I don't know when that's going to be. We're thinking about going on a real vacation next month, but I don't think that's going to happen next month. Just because of timing days off and stuff like that. We have other stuff we want to do. Plus, I have a dentist appointment. I have a dentist appointment next month. So yeah, next month's gonna be another short month, but that's okay. I'm only gonna be on here today and Friday because tomorrow my husband has the day off, of course. Uh, I might try and get on um over the weekend to make up that day because I have counting today. I have 5 days of content and 4 days to do it because I can't do it on Monday because the kids will be here as usual because people needs their hairs cut for holidays every year, every year. Oh, it's okay. We'll all live. So no reality roundup, of course. You want a kid roundup? They're cute. They're so cute. Oh, the little one, um, when they got here yesterday, they did not want to be here. Either one of them. Usually the older one's okay with stuff, but little one's, I want my mommy. I want my daddy. He's so cute. They were, of course, fine 5 minutes after my son left. They were fine. Doesn't matter. The kids will cry. They think they want one thing and they'll be fine with the other. Kids are adaptable. That's one good thing about little kids. They're very adaptable. More so if you treat them right. More so if, like my kids, when I dropped them off, or they weren't in daycare, but they did have preschool starting at 3. They could have cared less if I was there. That's how you know you have a healthy attachment to your children when they could care less if you're there because they know you're going to be there when they need you. So I got that done. What else? Went Christmas shopping all weekend. I know that sounds late, but for us it's early. Um, yeah, we didn't do stocking stuff for stuff though. We'll probably do that tomorrow. That's probably what we're going to go out and do. Other than the stuff I already have, we got them all wrapped. I have two things I think still coming, but our Christmas isn't until Saturday, so they're supposed to be here on Friday, or at least one of them's supposed to be here on Friday. So I'm not worried about that. Um, so yeah, Christmas come chugging right along. Also, I don't have to cook out. Maybe I'll get on Friday next week after Christmas. Well, I'm going to be here on Friday after Christmas because I don't have to pre-cook because my husband wants to like do KFC or something. So we'll be. I won't have to. I don't have to cook for Christmas. I was thinking this morning. I was going, where am I going to put a turkey in this refrigerator? And then I remembered I don't have to put a turkey in the refrigerator because I'm not making a turkey. I might make a turkey just for us for just get a breast for us for New Year's or something because I do want to still make another turkey. We didn't have enough leftovers from the last. Actually, we did. That's not true. We did have enough leftovers from the last one, but I don't like my leftover turkey sandwiches. Sorry. So sue me. So sue me. Um, so I just want to remind everybody to go onto change.org and look up the Rebecca Park Act. It's the Rebecca Parks Act on there. Some people just don't know how to pay attention to things. They do things in a hurry and they should slow down a little bit. Because when you do things in a hurry, you make mistakes. Even if you're a very intelligent person, when you hurry up and do things, you make mistakes. Yeah, everybody needs to slow down and do some slower things. Do some slower things. Do slower things. Do things slower. You'll make less mistakes. Take some time. So anyway, the Rebecca Park Act will it's only for Michigan, so if you're in Michigan, please go sign it. It costs you nothing to sign it. Share, please, with others so that they can sign it. It gives enhanced protections for children, uh, child, adult, uh, children of child abuse that are now adults from their parents. Um, so that is that. That's all I got. I'm sorry about the reality roundup. I did nothing this weekend on the show. I barely did my so I put my week's work in a what we're gonna read. I put all of them in a spreadsheet with links so I can just link it. And then I have a bunch of what do you call it? Tabs open. When I start, I just open all the tabs. It makes it really easy. I'm very organized when I need to be. You wouldn't know it by the rest of the rest of my house, but I'm very organized when it comes to like stuff like that. Work stuff, I'm very organized. Home stuff, not so much. Can't do it at home for some reason. Don't know why. Don't really care. It's not that important. I feel like this is like not straight. So anyway, I think everybody's getting something they want for Christmas. Well, if they told me what they wanted for Christmas, they're getting what they want for Christmas. Some people. So I'm not figuring. So I made a whole spreadsheet with everybody in the family has a tab, which means my son and my daughter-in-law have to do double work because they have kids. But still, at some point, the kids will take over their own tab when they're old enough. Um, they looked at it. They changed some stuff on their own. They um, put stuff for the kids. Well, except for the little one, he wants tractors. So it's like, what do you want for what do you want? Things you want. You can put anything on there. It's going to be open all year, so we'll just accumulate stuff that you don't buy for yourself. You can take stuff off of other people's so that they know somebody bought it, or the rest of the family knows somebody bought it. And then, like, what kind of treats do you like? What kind of snacks do you like? What are your favorite flavors? Stuff like that. I need to put on clothing sizes and stuff like that too. My husband has an idea for that. Um, and then, so you can change it throughout the year. If you don't like this Kit Kats anymore, you can change it to M&Ms or whatever you like. Um, so I did that, and everybody but two people, one person probably hasn't even been on there. The other one probably has, but didn't put her stuff on there, but kid stuff. So they're getting what I bought them. They're getting what we bought them. We bought them we bought my son some nice stuff. I bought some silly stuff for my daughter-in-law, but I think she'll like it. I think she'll like it. Then I had to buy other stuff for the other almost daughter-in-law. I call her my almost daughter-in-law. They're not quite married yet, but they might as well be. Um, oh, that's what else I gotta get. I gotta get a couple more stockings too. I gotta look for those today and tomorrow. Hopefully I'll find them today. Hopefully. Cross your fingers. Cross your little fingers. Cross your little fingers, biddies. Um, yeah. So if you don't like what you got for Christmas and you didn't tell me what you wanted, too bad for you. Too bad, so sad. My dad used to say, it's too bad, so sad, your dad. I can't say that. I'm not a dad. It's not fair. Oh, there was one more little tidbit. We're going to change, when people are saying the F word, I don't like to say it on here because I just don't like little kids hearing it before hearing words before they know what the meaning are. And I mean, my family's not immune. So instead of using the F or whatever, or F or effing or whatever, we're going to use the word whang, not wang, whang, WH, whang. Like what, who, whang. I saw it on Reddit the other day and I really liked it. I thought it was cute and a lot of other people seemed to like it too. So that's what we're going to do now. It will probably take me a while to remember to do that. I'm old and I never did have a memory, so I'm old and I never had a short-term memory, and my long-term memory is not great either. I mean, it is for like facts and stuff, but not dates and not like I have a little bit of um self shoot, what is it? No. Severely, I have a little bit. I don't have severely. I probably have MDAM. I have moderately um deficient autobiographical memory. My husband's is really bad. He's worse than mine, which I surprised. He's getting worse actually. I think he needs to go see a doctor, but that's just me. um, but yeah, we don't remember things from our own lives. We don't have. But we both have aphantasia, which is not being able to visualize. And part of having an autobiographical memory is you have to be able to visualize, and so you just don't remember things that other people remember from your childhood or your previous, previous years of your life. You remember important things, like I remember going on trips. I don't remember every detail, or even most of the details. Although I watched a TikTok this morning. There's this guy from the UK that I watch. His name is Louis. Louis. I think it's Louis. Anyway, he traveled to New York recently, so he's putting up his vlog stuff from New York, from his New York trip, and it's like, and I just went to New York for the first time in May, so I'm like, I know that, I've been there. I didn't get to go see that. He got to go to Central Park. We didn't get to go to Central Park. We were dealing with issues we didn't know we had at the time. Now we know we have, and it's not fun. It's not a fun time. This has been the worst year of my life. Have I said that before? Yeah, because it's true. It's been the worst year of my life. I mean, I'm not saying there haven't been highlights, but overall, this has been the worst year of my life. Why is it like blinking like that? It's so weird. Promise I'm not causing that little blinking thing. Do you see that? I see that. It's really weird. I don't know if it's because of the angle of the thing or what. I don't have any blinking lights in here, I promise. I promise I don't. Oh, what else? So anyway, that was fun. That was cute this morning. He got a New York style pizza. Did I get a New York style pizza when I went to New York? No, I got Detroit style pizza in New York. It was good pizza. Don't get me wrong. If you're in Rockefeller Center, there's a pizza place in the basement. Very good Detroit style pizza. If you're looking for Detroit style pizza, if you're looking for New York style pizza, don't bother. For some reason, I think that's connected to the microphone. It's so weird. What is that blinking thing? I don't know. We're not going to worry about it. It's distracting me because of my ADHD, but we're not going to worry about it. Um, okay, and I got a cute little thing later at the midpoint when we do our little midpoint spiel. I got a cute thing I got to show you. What else? But oh, yesterday my little angel that never disobeyed me. It's my husband's fault. He's an idiot. I literally texted, "Are you an idiot?" He sends a 4-year-old up to get a bowl of chili mac for him. I had it like setting out for them to come and get. I had it all on a tray. I was going to take it down, and then I'm like, with my knee, should I be doing this? No, no, it's not a good idea. Chili mac will be all over the floor because I can't. I have to hold on to something. My knee, it doesn't hurt exactly, but it feels like it's going to give out when I have femoral patella syndrome, which is a lot of women get. Like most women get it eventually in their lives. So anyway, when I'm walking downstairs, it doesn't hurt. I mean, sometimes it hurts, but it doesn't hurt just walking downstairs. Most of the time, it's fine. Like right now, there's no pain at all. Um, if I get up, there'll be a little bit of pain until I get going, and then it'll go away. It's very weird. But I have like bone on bone. Like it's rubbing. I'll eventually have to have a new knee, but we're putting that off as long as possible because um, advancements in medicine. Best put things off as long as you can. So with my knee, like it's probably fine. I probably would not fall, but it feels like I'm going to fall. It feels like my knee is going to give out. It will not bend all the way on with weight. It will without weight, but with weight, it will not bend you know, comfortably on its own. Doesn't hurt. It just feels weird. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to carry that down. So I texted him because I called him that it was ready from the upstairs. And then I texted him and he said the kids didn't want food, which is fine. They had been eating all day. The little one tells his dad everything he ate. We had salami and blueberries and no, not raspberries. And I'm like, strawberries and cookies and different kind of he says cookie now. He was saying tookie, now it's cookie. He's so cute. He's two. He's so cute. And yes, he talks that way. He's very smart. He may be smarter than the other kid, to be honest, which is saying something because the other kid's pretty smart too. Um, so he sends the 4-year-old up to bring his bowl down. And I'm like, absolutely not. Your grandfather can come get it. Well, apparently he snuck down with the bowl. He tells my husband, he says, Grandma said not to bring the bowl, but I did it anyway. Oh, my husband is so lucky he did not spill that bowl. He did not drop that bowl. He did good. He did good. But if he wasn't as scared as me not telling him not to do it, he probably would have spilled it. You don't send a 4-year-old to bring something with chili down the stairs. They're carpeted too, so some men, telling you, just my man, really. Smack him. You smack him in the next week. Oh, okay. I guess we'll get started. I'll show you the cute thing later. So we'll start with Am I the Jerk? And it's entitled AITJ refusing to let my coworker shadow me after she's kept using my work to look good. No. Oh, I hate people like that use other people. So obnoxious. I've been in my job for a few years and I've built a strong reputation for being dependable. A newer coworker keeps asking to shadow me so she can learn the workflow. At first, I agreed because I wanted to help her to adjust. Then I started noticing something strange. She would stand behind me while I handled tasks and then report those tasks as her own while speaking to our manager. Yeah, that is not cool. No. She began telling everyone she was the one who solved issues that I had worked on alone. Last week, she asked again if she could spend the day following me. I told her I was not comfortable with her shadowing me anymore. She got defensive and said I was blocking her professional growth. No, you just don't know what you're doing. I told her I was not blocking anything, but I would not allow my work to be claimed by someone else. She ended up crying in the break room, and now several coworkers think I was too harsh. I feel I have been patient, but enough is enough. Yeah, you should not let other people take credit for your work. It's really annoying when it's a man-woman dynamic. A lot of times, um, my ex-boss was a woman with there were one or two, sometimes two other female managers, but most of them were guys. And she would make a suggestion and they would kind of ignore it. And 10 minutes later, the sales manager would make the same suggestion. And then it was like, oh, yeah, we should do that. So annoying. So annoying. I told her, I'm like, you should say, yeah, I said that like 10 minutes ago. Why is it a good idea now and wasn't then? Call them out. Call them out. Girls, call them out every time because they will do that to you. And sometimes people in general will just do it just because that's the kind of person they are. Serious agency says she's not learning from you. She's piggybacking on your effort to boost her image. Protecting your work is not cruelty, it's basic fairness. Exactly. That's terrible. No, she shouldn't be doing that. And no, you don't have to let her shadow you. She's been there a while. She should know her job. There comes a point where you should know your job. Do your job. Do your job without people telling you what to do. And if you didn't told something once, you should remember it. I got a compliment once on a job that said I didn't me with my MDAM got a compliment. Like I don't usually have to tell you twice to do something because I try to do my job. It's the only thing ever said nice about me. He was a jerk. That's 100% a jerk. This is how jerky he was. He was supposed to quit. He was going to quit and go to work somewhere else. So everybody was happy about it. Everybody was happy about it. I went into the kitchen because I was cleaning up my space. I was the receptionist, but we had like coffee pot and stuff out that I would take to the kitchen every night. So I took it to the kitchen, and the girl in the kitchen's like, "So I heard he's leaving." And I'm like, "Don't count on it." She's like, "What?" I said, "I heard today that he's not." And she's like, "Oh man." And she just looks defeated, like completely defeated. And then I turned around and they had this little board on one of their walls, and it was her birthday. And I said, "I'm sorry for ruining your birthday." My terrible news. She's like, "It's not your fault." I'm like, "I know, but I still feel bad." All right. Next, we have entitled people, entitled, "They handed me their baby and disappeared." That sounds scary. Hi, y'all. I'm back with another story from my time working in a very popular theme park in Florida, the Magic Rat Planet of sorts. This incident happened when I worked quick food service at resorts. I wanted to preface this by saying children like me for some reason. They stare at me, want me to hold them or play with them. At church, some toddlers find me just to nap on me during church service. Aw. See, this is a nice person, you can tell. Because kids know she's nice. In my 20s, children made me feel kind of nervous because I didn't know what to do with them and I double doubted I could care for one, which is wild considering I worked at Magical Rat Planet. However, my interactions with children there were usually short and polite. One day during extremely busy lunch period, I was on my way to the cash register when I paused to get by a large group of people. I felt a small tug on my shirt sleeve and looked down to find a chubby baby hand holding it. The little baby girl was so adorable with big blue eyes and not a lick of hair on her round head. She must have been really young. I talked to her sweetly while the mother held her smiling. The baby reached out for me to hold her. Mom gushed about how that never happened and how the baby was not usually social and didn't like other people. As I mentioned above, I was used to this reaction from children. She told me it was okay to hold her and move her closer to me. Yeah, I can understand this. People will tell me their cat, I will not see their cat. You will not see my cat. My cat's very shy. She won't come out, blah, 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 blah. Every time the cat shows up. Cats like me. I was in a conundrum as I didn't know this child, but obviously interacting with small humans came with the territory. I didn't want to be rude or seem mean. The baby's little arms were still up, so I said just for a second and picked her up. She was very chunky and cute. I started talking to the baby, who was just very comfortable on my hip. I looked up, and y'all, her mom and dad and grandma walked away, disappearing into the crowd. I walked around for 30 minutes holding a happy baby looking for her family. After a while, one of my managers came out. I explained to him the situation and tried to hand him the baby. He threw his hands up and said, "Manager, that's all you. You'll have to find her parents." Me? I just got a couple emojis. Baby's happy. Another 10 minutes, I'm walking with this kid before I spot grandma. She spots me well and tries to turn around and leave. What the heck? I catch her and hand her back the baby. She looks semi disappointed. People, you cannot just drop your baby off to a complete stranger. Nor should you. They didn't even leave supplies, just handed me their infant and dipped. Needless to say, I hold no more children, not even for a second. And security wasn't called because, unfortunately, the situation wasn't uncommon and still isn't. Police would have basically lived there if they were called every time parents or guardians stitch their children at Magical Rat Planet. My incident is literally one of many, the unfortunate truth. Turnpike Papa says that's not entitlement, that's abandonment. It is. And you should have contacted park security as soon as you realized the family had skipped. Good for you for getting the kid back to its family, but this is probably not a one off and the family needs to be held accountable. Yeah, that kid's in danger, to be honest. That kid's in danger. They'll hand her I bet you that was a lie that she doesn't do it ever. I bet you she does it to everybody. I bet you that baby likes everybody. And they just thought that was a safe person, whether they were or not. Oh, wow, that's incredible. People, don't abandon your kids at the Magic Kingdom. That's crazy. Next is from What Should I Do entitled Boy excuse me. This is what happens when you eat right before you go on live. A little bit of indigestion, just a little. What should I do? Boyfriend slapped me. I don't know what to do and whether this is bad enough for me to leave my boyfriend. It is. Where's my flags? My flags are here. My green flag. There's my green flag. Okay. Boyfriend slapped you? Dude. Shouldn't even have to say that. He 23 and I 21 were watching a show where there was a lady went to the pub and played darts, which is what his sister does. She plays the darts at pubs competitively. Well, that's cool. But at the end, they said she's not happy with her weight or something. And I said, oh, it's like sister, purely because of the playing of darts at the pub. About 3 seconds later, he slapped me in the face and just saying, only because of the darts. Go away. Make him go away. I was completely shocked times and smack each other's butts, but he's never slapped me in the face, and it hurt a lot. I told him to apologize, and he threw a tantrum, immediately got on his phone and started mumbling. And I asked what he said, and he said sarcastically, sorry. No, you're not. Do you think that is enough for me to leave him? Yes. See, that's the problem when you come from an abused place, is because that you tend not to recognize abuse very well. Would it be fair to leave him over this, and what should I do? And it says, I left him. Thanks for the help. Thank goodness. Good. You're young. You're young. That's the first thing. You need to learn that also when you're young, you don't have the sunk cost fallacy going on. You can still, I mean, you leave any, the longer it goes on, it gets harder. Twisted said, that's your ex-boyfriend now. And Banana Waters answered, yeah, boyfriend is totally stuffing his own sister. Yeah, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. Yeah, that's unacceptable. No, 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 we don't do that. No. Next is from malicious compliance. See, this is what happens when I get tired. You guys know this, right? Malicious compliance, entitled Emails and Permission. The fallout just happened, and this compliance seed was planted a couple of weeks ago. My boss likes to send tasks via email. And I mean, that's not a bad thing. You have it in writing that way that you know you assigned it. That's not a problem. But to a group of employees and tell us to figure it out as far as who will do what. Yeah, that's not cool. You need to assign things. Not micromanage, but definitely assign things. To further complicate it, when someone does volunteer to do a task, he will then tell you to make sure it's okay with the rest of the team. No. This annoys me to no end because it's incredibly non-confrontational, inefficient, and fosters a lazy working environment when one person does most of the work. Yep. Begin an inquiry to create a new training curriculum. Boss sends normal email to myself and another lead, asks who wants to do it. I don't reply because I don't want to do it. Boss meets with me in person and says he wanted me to do it and he had me in mind when he first sent the email. Then why didn't he just assign it? Why didn't he just assign it to me? But he does this typical run by the other employee first. You already know. I send the email asking other employees to make sure to CC boss. An important note, because of this dynamic, employees have learned to just not reply to emails, even if it's approve the coworker taking the task, for fear somehow being roped into the task. Shockingly, the other employee does not respond. My boss just left my office panicked because not only did this one not get done, but now there is another order. I'm swamped because I've been volunteering for his other email tasks that could warrant their own post. He realizes he is too much of a coward to force his other employees to do it, and now is having to work both order on his own. Friday Eve got a little better. Friday Eve. That's on a Thursday. Friday Eve is Thursday. Yeah, this guy should not be a manager. He doesn't know how to manage. If you're too timid to assign a task to somebody, you do not need to be a manager. Coder Joe says your boss should be up for the Mismanagement of the Year award. Mismanagement of the Year. Like Miss America Mismanagement. Wow, yeah. That's a terrible manager. I'm sorry, I'll pay that your boss is sucky. We did Wang and we haven't even had to use it. What the heck? Next is from AITAH. AITA for refusing to transport packages free of charge for a company I don't even do business with. No. If I'm gonna do something for you and you're a company, you're gonna pay me for it, or it will not get done. Last week, 2 medium-sized packages arrived at my doorstep while I was at work. I had my packages be delivered to the neighbors. FedEx, stop doing that. Yeah, I'm calling them out by name. USPS manages, Walmart manages, UPS manages, Amazon manages. FedEx cannot find my house. Or they say the package is there before they even show up. They've done that to me too. I was panicked, man. Last week, 2 medium-sized packages arrived at my doorstep while I was at work. I had my home address on them, but the person they were addressed to was someone I had never heard of before. Perplexed, I looked in to see who sent it and called the company, but they were closed. So I brought the packages in and stored them for the weekend. I guess they're yours now. Yesterday after work, I called the company to inform them of this error. The representative asked me to print off shipping labels and use packing tape to attach the labels to the box. I don't have packing tape, sorry. Then this company wants me to haul this stuff to FedEx store. No, you send FedEx to the house to pick it up, the least. At this point, I put the brakes on. In the nicest way I know how, I tell the representative that this isn't my responsibility. I didn't ask for any of this. I'm already doing them a favor by storing their projects in my home, plus using my own printer and tape to attach shipping labels. They need to arrange for the packages are picked up from my home and not ask me to drive packages across town using my own vehicle, fuel time, etc. Eventually, they agreed that the packages would be picked up from my home. I didn't want to be rude, but I spent approximately 25 minutes on this, on and off hold, and found in a kind of presumptuous that I found it kind of presumptuous that I was being asked to provide shipping supplies at my own expense, plus transport packages that I had never ordered from a company I don't even do business with. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but this isn't my problem. Yeah, usually they'll come and pick them up for you. I don't know why they're even asking for them to do shipping labels and tape them on and stuff. Okay, Aioli says NTA, especially when you don't know what's in the parcel, it could be legitimate business or it could be a front. Intel Courier says NTA, but there's no way that I would have wasted 25 plus minutes dealing with this. I would have left them a voicemail and hung up after about 5 minutes. It's infuriating enough to be on hold when you need something from a company, but I draw the line on hanging on the line when I'm trying to do them a favor. Let them call me at my convenience, not theirs. Yeah, and if you've ever had to deal with FedEx lately, um, you're more likely to get just hung up on rather than actually talk to somebody about your issue. Oh, do this, do that, click. They will hang up on you. It's ridiculous. FedEx no longer a good company to deal with. Next, we have Neighbors from Hell, and his neighbors keep taking my packages. It's package season, guys. It's package season. You know this. A few months ago, I ordered expensive specialty footwear for my job and had it shipped to my home. I got the notice that they were delivered, but the box wasn't anywhere to be seen. I try not to panic, and the seller said to wait a day or two, as deliveries are sometimes get marked as delivered but aren't really delivered. Why are you doing that? That should be illegal. So I wait. 2 days later, my neighbor from across the street brings my footwear open, no invoice to my door, telling me she told UPS it was hers. Okay, it was a mistake. Then 2 days ago, it happened again. I get my delivery notice within 20 minutes. I was home, but no package. Again, the retailer tells me to wait a day or two. I called them today and they told me they have delivery photo and it's my porch. Nothing on the ring camera or security cameras. It's like there was a ghost who stole the package. Today, while staying at home sick, I called the same number across the street, cut across my front yard, and slipped my package in between the storm door and the house door and slowly slunk off. She's done this twice now, but the second time I have photo proof that it was on my porch from the delivery driver. That's an issue. I think my neighbor might be a klepto. How do I handle this? Edit, thank you for all your comments and advice. I started with a clear email clearly stating that what happened and the evidence. I told her to leave my packages alone, and if it happens again, I will be contacting law enforcement. Good, because that's what you should be doing. And I've adjusted my cameras that they're picking up the tiniest movements now, so I'll catch her on video if it happens again. Overrice says, get a lockbox for your porch. If you have video proof, I'd call the police and have them have a chat with her. Crinja says, you can give the code to unlock the box to the delivery driver so they can put the stuff in and lock it back. And S Black says, also improve your camera coverage. It sounds like you have massive holes for somebody to be able to steal a package from your porch and not get caught. Yeah, that's true. All right. Next is from Benign Existence, and it's entitled Made My Halloween. Remember, this is from November's reads. Last night, I had a guy stop by during trick or treat wearing a Charmander costume. I've been a huge fan of Pokemon since I was a little kid. I always get some of the Halloween booster packs to give out, and they seem like to be a favorite. When I gave Charmander a pack, he ran back to his mom screaming, "This is the best day of my life." So cute, made my whole night. Aw, that's adorable. It's so cute. Aw, what a happy little kid. It's always so happy to make little kids happy, you know? It's always such a joy. I'm glad he was happy. See, I have tears in my eyes because I'm so happy for that little kid. So nice of you. Good going, OP. Good going. Next, we have Just No Mill. Gave birth to preterm baby, and mother-in-law is struggling with the fact that she can't hold her and thinks it's personal. You can't hold preterm babies. I couldn't hold my nieces when they were born because they were preterm. So I recently gave birth at 34 weeks after my water suddenly broke. We were in NICU for 22 days and I just got discharged. The Saturday before I went into labor, we had our baby Q celebration for pregnancy, but with a barbecue. Oh, it's a baby Q. That's cute. My mother-in-law decided to invite people to this event. Husband and I are upset because we invited the people we wanted to be there. The people she invited are people I've never met, and my husband has met them like twice. Well, the people show up, and why would you come to a baby shower without an invite? Anyway, well, they were invited. Your mother-in-law invited them. They were invited. She just shouldn't be inviting people to your place, that's all. Anyway, the whole party, she was giving me the silent treatment, but kept coming up to my family when I was talking to them to give them a very over-the-top friendly hello. She would then walk away. She did this over and over. She told my husband she promises to always be the mother he wishes her to be, and other comments. Basically, she made an event that wasn't about her, about her. Some people are like that. Some people are like that. Maybe they shouldn't be invited to your events. Just saying. Well, a few days later, I gave birth. She immediately is overbearing, and my husband says she can't see the baby. It wasn't until a week later that she was granted permission. The rules of the NICU were explained by my husband, sister-in-law, and the staff when she checked in. First visit, she did well, other than comments about how she can't wait for me to start calling her because they need a break from the baby. I don't know. I never called my mother-in-law to need a break from a baby. I don't know. Saying that to a mother that with her baby in the NICU seems to be in poor taste to me. She also made phone calls asking me how she is and how she can't wait to hold her, yada, yada. I mean, that I don't have a problem with. That's normal. How is she doing? I can't wait to hold her. She's so cute, blah, blah, blah. That's normal. That's completely normal. Don't take things that are normal and make them abnormal just because there's other abnormal behavior. We recently were discharged from the hospital and we live over an hour from the hospital where we were at. My husband needed a way to get to the hospital so we could both ride home together. His mom was available and had helped him clean the house for our child's arrival. Permission was asked for her to come up and see the baby once she was at the hospital. I said a short one, since she did not since she did help us out. I had my baby in arms when they arrived. Mother-in-law starts taking photos of me holding her, then says it's for me to pass the baby to my husband for photos. I tell her no, she just fell asleep, which is true. Yeah, no, you don't disturb a sleeping NICU baby, for sure. You shouldn't probably disturb any sleeping baby, but definitely not a NICU baby. They need their sleep. I told her the time she will be getting up for her cares, and we will get a photo then. But I also have other photos of them together. I could tell she was mad, but she remained quiet. Then, a short time later, she comes up from behind me to look at her and proceeds to grab her out of my hands. You also do not grab a baby, ever, for any reason. I tell her not to touch several times, but she just didn't stop until my sister-in-law said not to. She then ran out of the room. Mind you, this is our discharge day, so you could also say she made an event that wasn't about her, about her. It isn't necessary to bring it up, but the NICU staff told me not to allow any holding or touching until she's at least full term. That makes sense. That makes sense. You don't want a NICU baby getting sick, and you can be sick and not know it yet. So you abide by what the doctors say to do. They highly suggested to limit visits and holding until winter is over because you don't know when you're sick. They see way too many readmissions to the NICU. Yep. They know what they're talking about. Follow their advice. Just like you should follow all the advice you get after a surgery to the T. Your recovery will go better. Baby's recovery will go better if they limit visits and holding until flu and cold season is over. Flu cold and COVID season is over. Now you have COVID and everything. I get a wall of text the next morning at 5 a.m. from her. She explains how she loves her son and my granddaughter and wants to love me too, but everything she does is wrong in my eyes and I hate her. My husband didn't do, doesn't respond, so I don't. Why is she taking a personal affront when she's crossing boundaries that she shouldn't be crossing? I'm just exhausted. Well, of course you are, honey. I now have my baby home with me and we're adjusting to this new life. I was away from home for over 3 weeks, and now we have our baby and everything that comes with that. She's still tired, so she's not quite acting like a full-term baby, but she will get there. She will. She called me at 7 in the morning this morning. Like, woman, I have been up changing diapers and feeding her all night. You want to wake me up? I didn't answer, of course. She has the day off and wants to come over and help. Literally, no. If you can't handle a simple boundary to keep my baby healthy, no way. Stay away. Yeah, if she would have just, silly mother-in-law, if you would have just abided by the rules that the doctors said to abide by, you would have at least been over to see her. Might not be able to hold her yet. That's fine. But you could have seen her. Or maybe you're one of the people that would have the privilege of holding her before winter's over. But you're ruining it for yourself by being like this. Don't be like this. The agitated ad says, "You're doing great holding the line. Our daughter gave birth 6 months also." It says, gave birth 6 months also. Well, she didn't give birth 6 months. She gave birth at 8 months, but 7 months. There was absolutely no contact from anyone for the first 3 months. Everyone had to be vaccinated for flu, RSV, and COVID. Then no kissing except the middle of its back. Traveling, you need to wait at least 1 week before seeing him, etc. We respected her rules, and on the other side was not as receptive to the rules. Now I'm babysitting when they need someone, or it's my husband and myself. Good luck, you're doing great. Yep, see? When you follow the rules, you get the privilege of having contact with the baby. Follow the rules. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Personally, I don't think my son had enough rules around his babies, but they were born in the summer too. This is Retail Hell, and it said, I call it Yamageddon. I made it myself. Ah. You took all of the sweet potatoes. All of the sweet potatoes. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. It looks like a recipe for disaster, but it's pretty funny. That's hilarious. I love it so much. More of that. More of that for Christmas. Um, Gunthros deflatulent. Gunthros T flatulent says, if there's a religion based on this pile of yams, please send me information pamphlets. And Brooklyn Orr says, I would like to join the clergy if such wonders exist. Oh, that's great. Blame Tag says, over under and how long before someone eats one from the bottom. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a recipe for disaster. People are dumb. All right, this is from Infuriating, entitled, New Trump Rule Declares Most Public Service Work Illegal, Ineligible for Loan Forgiveness. Wow, I hadn't heard this one. This is originally from Our Law. It's from the newsletter Above the Law. If you weren't already super psyched for the big, beautiful bill following borrowing caps making law school unaffordable for any, get ready to learn that most lawyerly public service is no longer getting loan service. Public service is supposed to get loan forgiveness. That's literally why people go into it. We don't want anyone working in public service anymore, I guess. Why bother? You don't get any of the perks anymore. We used to have really good insurance. My husband works for county. So it's a public service position. Any work that you do for municipality or government is a public service work. You're a public servant if you work in those. Yeah, you get paid for it, but you're still a public servant. We used to have really good insurance until the Republicans ruined that. Thanks. That was state. That wasn't even federal. He issued his Restoring Public Service Loan Forgiveness executive order. DOE cutting off forgiveness to those causes it deems to be supporting illegal activity. And it's jobs like representing immigrants at their immigration hearings and advocating for transgender rights. Being transgender and having rights is not illegal. Just saying. Oh, it's so annoying. Undersecretary of Education Nicholas Kent says the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program was meant to support Americans who dedicate their careers to public service. Being a lawyer for people who are accused of crimes is a public service because of the way our justice system works. That is a public service, especially if you're I call it public defender. It's a public right in the name. Public defenders are doing a service for the public. No one is a criminal until they have already had 34 felonies, sir. I'll let you guess on that one. It's not to subsidize organizations that violate the law, whether by harboring illegal immigrants, no one's doing that, or performing prohibited medical procedures that attempt to transition children away from their biological sex. What medical procedures are prohibited? Because there shouldn't be any. Because all those procedures for transgender children are also used by straight children, by cisgender children. Oh, that just makes me angry. Sorry, don't get me started. I'll put it this way. My children have never not known a trans person. They have never not known a trans person. So they have known a trans person all of their lives, even before we knew they were trans. Actually, more than one. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. So when it comes to trans kids, I've seen trans kids and I've seen Just a little bit, just a tiny little bit of what they go through. And it's not good. It's not good for them. They should be able to be who they are. All right. Next we have I the devil? And I know there weren't very many of these, but I do have a criteria. I have a criteria before you can get on the reads. You have to have a certain amount of karma. You have to have a certain amount of karma. And frankly, I'm not real sure how this one got in here because it is below karma. But I guess I needed a few. It is from Am I the Devil? And it's entitled No Words for This. It's originally from Am I the A-Hole? And it's entitled AITA for not wanting to get my stepdaughter's pajamas altered. Okay, that's kind of weird. Who's altering pajamas anyway? My daughter has a 15-year-old daughter. My wife has a 15-year-old daughter. We have a 4-year-old son and a 5-year-old daughter together. My stepdaughter is skinny with long legs and a small waist. She has a chronic illness that has affected her growth. Poor kid. My wife still shops for her in the children's section most of the time, but she wears different sizes and shirts than pants. That happens sometimes. In tops, she's a 14 in girls or an 8 in boys. In pants, she's a 12 slim, which is impossible to find in leggings. We usually end up getting adult extra extra small or sometimes extra small and getting it hemmed. I get having her pants altered because they're going to be worn out in public. My wife just bought her some winter pajamas, which almost always come in sets. She usually gets everything in a size 14, but the waist is too big, so she wants to get her pajama pants altered and have them a tighter elastic waistband or drawstring. I think that's something you could do at home. I don't think you need a professional for that. I told her these pants won't be worn out of the house and getting them altered is a waste of money, but she thinks it's unfair that the rest of us get to have clothes and pajamas that fit, and my stepdaughter is just supposed to deal with it because they won't be worn outside of the house. I mean, if you've ever had ill-fitting pajamas, you know that that is not comfortable. That is not comfortable. Although in this situation, I think I would just buy the pants and the shirts separately because you can do that in certain things. It might cost a little more, but it's not going to cost any more than having them altered. Probably cost less, actually. Now she's being petty. No, you're being petty. And saying that a new jacket for me is a waste of money because mine from before we had kids works just fine and my socks having holes isn't a big deal because nobody will see them under my shoes. She's not being petty. She's just throwing back in your face what you said to her and see how it feels. My mom thinks I should give in and take the pajamas for alterations, keep the peace, but I just think it's an unnecessary expense. AITA for not wanting her to get pajamas altered. Yes, yes, you are. You are. Ill-fitting pajamas are the worst. They fall off, especially when they're falling off of you. BW right now is in that age where threes are too big, twos are way too small. And if you put him in a size 3T, 3 toddler, even with a diaper on, and you know how big the diapers are, they'll just fall off his little butt. So he's getting skinny again. He's getting skinny. The kids in our family tend to chunk up a little bit when they're little, and then they are the skinniest little things when they get like start running around and stuff and mm, get all that weight off. And you can't feed him anymore because the kid already eats like a crazy person. Kid it eats and eats and eats and does not gain any weight. He reminds me of my sister. My sister was like that when she was little. So much so that they actually did like tests on her because they thought her something was off. It wasn't. She just had a really high metabolism. Oh, to have that problem, right? MDS and Bell says, I'm sitting here, WTF, WFH. I'm sitting here, WFH, in a pair of PJ pants that are slightly too big at the waist since I lost a lot of weight between the time I got them and now. When I stand up, I run the risk of flashing the cats. I really do think I should wash them and donate them, but they're so comfy. Point is, I'm just flashing the cats, and I'm an adult who knows they judge me for plenty of other things anyway. This poor kid tries to do bathroom run in the middle of the night. She might flash the whole family. Exactly. Rainbow Color Unicorn says, if they're comfy, you should see if you could add an elastic band or a drawstring. It's super easy to do and beginner level. Plus, you learn a skill. Also, it's PJ, so it's okay if it doesn't look good and you're thinking of getting rid of them. So if it ruins them, it's not a waste since you use them to learn something. And she answers, that's a good point. I might try that. OP says, yes, when I lost a bunch of weight, I put elastic bands in my PJ pants and it was a lifesaver. They could still be loose and comfortable without falling off. Well, gee, sir, maybe you should do that for your daughter. Yeah, that guy's a jerk. I think he got a few downvotes on that, looking at the karmas. Oh, I actually agree with this one. It's called IHOP and it has one of those little do not enter sign things. And it says 420. Um, so I will show you the, and I don't honestly I don't think I have a problem with this one. IHOP will not serve seats to guests with strong marijuana odor. Thank you, the management. I don't blame them because that can put other people off. Yeah, we went shopping on this weekend, well, mostly Saturday, and went into every once in a while we pass somebody in the store. It's just like it used to be with cigarette smoke. Oh my gosh, like stop wearing the clothes that you smoke in out in public. Just stop. Change your clothes. It's disgusting. It stinks. You stink. You stink. Skylar AV says, who do they think their customer base is for pancakes at 3 a.m. is? Zenez says, I think they're just frustrating with having to smell dank while they're on the clock. Sharing is caring. Platosaurus says, when I was waiting tables, I found a good way to get some weed as a tip was to comment on it. Oh, my daughter should have known that one. Yeah, they stink. You stink, people. And it's like skunk smell. It's so nasty. My son used to work uh, with marijuana in a facility. And he would come home and he would right away put all of his clothes in the washer, put some baking soda in. Baking soda will neutralize the smell and wash his clothes every day. Or he'd leave them in his truck because he knew I couldn't stand the smell. He'd leave them in his truck, and then when he had enough clothes for a load, he would put it in. Baking soda works great. Wash your clothes. Honey and Whiskey was the second most upvoted comment. It says, when my boyfriend and I lived across the street from an IHOP, we used to plan an evening to go get totally blazed and walk over. We called it High Hop. I can see that. I can see that. The I can't, not even gonna try on that one. The Mexican restaurant we'd go to on edibles before a 3D movie in college was called Limestone. So that became limestone in our vernacular. Oh, yeah. Y'all stank. This is from Petty Revenge, and it's entitled Family Hates Every Guy I Bring Home, so I made them stop asking. Ever since I, female, was about 16, any guy brought home to my family would instantly get judged and questioned into oblivion. They'd grill the poor guy about his job, college, outfit, haircut, build, etc. Obviously, this ruined any relationship I had. Eventually, I just started informing any guy that things I got serious with that didn't fit my family's mold of what he will never be introduced to my family, and they can never know he exists. Obviously, I provide more context than that, but it was tended to slowly ruin things as well. Cut to about 2 months ago. I was doing my thing, living my life, spending time with a guy who's pretty nice, except I made a deadly mistake. I posted about him in my story and someone saw. At the dinner table, not even 24 hours later, the family starts grilling me about him. Why I chose that one, their words, and the like. An idea popped into my head, and I realized there were about 8 people in the room. I realized some of those 8 people need to sober up before they can drive home. When my aunt asked me why I'm going out with these types again, I blurted out, "Oh, his dick is huge." Cue drop forks, cue horrified stares, cue calling Ubers, cue swiftly chugging glasses of wine. It was almost full 30 seconds of silence. They don't ask who I'm dating anymore. Edit, I feel like I should mention this did have some consequences. Family group chat was blowing up for like a week, and I could have gotten kicked out, and they tried to ground me an adult. But before that, I never knew that someone could be so desperate to leave an awkward family dinner that they'd call a cab. Still worth it. Yep, don't ask questions that you don't want answers to, because you might not want the answer. Oh, okay. Next, we have traumatize them back, and this is entitled "Call Me a Whore for Being Raped." Everyone will find out who the actual whore is. So I, 15 female, am in my sophomore year of high school, and there was this girl, also 15 female, who we call CF, which will make sense later. CF and I used to be friends in 7th grade, but she found out I had seizures and started bullying me for them. That's sad. What's wrong with CF? I can guess at what CF stands for. See you next Tuesday, friend. Um, it was annoying and definitely stung, but it was tolerable. That was until 8th grade. CF overheard me tell one of my friends that I had been raped by a boy in the year above me who was in high school. We had no evidence to prosecute him with, so nothing could be done. CF then decided to make that made me a whore. So what does she do? She tells the entire school that I'm a whore and I lost my V card at 13. That I wanted to be raped and cyberbully me online. In 8th grade, I was shy and timid. Of course you were. You've been bullied all for a whole year already. So I never spoke to her about her harassment. Later in the year, I changed to a different middle school for other reasons, so I was free of CF for a while. That didn't last forever as we go to the same high school. Freshman year, I had gym class with her, and we stayed out of each other's way. That was until she started talking crap again. Because apparently making school hell for me in the middle school wasn't enough, she wanted to do it in high school now, too. CF sounds just like a horrible person. Luckily, since middle school, I had produced a shiny new backbone due to other crap I had dealt with. So when she started telling everybody how much of a whore I was, I did not stay silent. I didn't necessarily traumatize her back at that time. I just said to anybody that asked I was definitely not asking to be raped, and most people understood. Everything came to a head one day, somewhere in May of this year. Our PE teacher left the room for a moment, and CF begins talking in front of the entire class. CF. So, we'll call her Char. So Char is here, and had any other guys rape, specifically with finger quotes, you recently, or are you still denying how much you must have enjoyed it? Man, this person is horrible. I hope this isn't true. Now, here's the thing about CF. She openly dated her second cousin in middle school, knowing full well that they were cousins. As much as this grossed me out, I never said anything about it, as it's her life, not this time. So I looked at her and responded with, like, how you enjoyed screwing your cousin back in middle school. She went silent, and suddenly everyone in the class was listening. I figured I'd be polite and explain it for him. What? You don't remember dating your second cousin? CF starts stammering. I never did that. I responded, oh, are you sure you cousin Wanker? Wanger? Remember Wang? We finally get to use it. You cousin Wanger? I am the whore here when you were trying to make your family tree look like a ladder. She started crying in front of everyone, which in high school is basically an admission of guilt. Yeah, it is. And everywhere else, too. Of course, again, this being high school, word has spread quickly, and CF was mortified. Now she avoids me like the plagues and stays as far away from me as possible. Good. Good for you. You did exactly what you should have. 2 months into sophomore year, and there has been not a single problem. Sometimes you gotta hit them back with the same bullcrap they pull. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes she was doing good at ignoring her, and it didn't work. So when ignoring the bully doesn't work, then you gotta bully them back. It's the only way they learn. Some of them. Some of them, if you just ignore it, they'll get bored and they'll leave you alone. Other ones, you literally have to fight them back. schools would recognize that or do something about the bullying in the first place. That would be good. Aradia Silvermoon says, a girl in my high school used to pick on me for anything and everything. It was exhausting. One day in PE, I pulled up my shorts from my crotch. Front wedgies hurt, man, discreetly. She started in on me about playing with myself. Earlier in the year, she was changing back into regular clothes. She scratched herself down there when she thought no one was looking. Then she sniffed her fingers before getting dressed, so I fired back. I was fishing in my shorts, not like what you were doing. Not like I was doing what you do. Scratch yourself down there and smell it. She went white, abruptly left the group. The rest of the year, the kids call her scratch and sniff. I did feel bad for a while, but at least she stayed away from me after that. Simon says, there is absolutely zero reason to feel bad about that. She fully did it to herself. If she wasn't being nasty, she wouldn't get called out for her hypocrisy. Exactly. She was the wannabe mean girl bully, not you. You just defended yourself. Good for you, giving her a taste of her own medicine. Those who live in glass houses should not throw stones. Exactly. Gypsy Danger likes to scratch herself as much as I did. So funny. Oh, kids can be so clever sometimes. Mean, but clever. Yeah, that was mean, but she was being mean. What do you expect to happen when you're being mean to people? Don't do that, or everybody will be mean to you. The Glorical said, love that it just hit her in the face with no warning. Not even are you sure you want to go this way? She went full face into that brick wall. Yep. Don't be mean to people. Don't be mean to people. Okay, now we have expectation versus reality because we like that one. I do anyway. I think it's fun. It says tried to make some TV dinner cupcakes. So, of course, we have examples. And that looks like quite the lovely spread there. Oh, it's supposed to be a TV dinner. Get it? This is the chicken legs. You got your drumsticks. You got your dessert. You got your peas and carrots, and you got your mashed potatoes and gravy. Yeah, I'm losing it today, guys. Oh, actually, that's pretty good. You got your drumsticks. You got your potatoes and gravy. That looks really good. The potatoes and gravy came out great. The peas and carrots. I think you just needed more peas and carrots instead of on there. That would have been better. And that cupcake's easy. Yeah, you did good. You did good, OP. Good job. Nice, lovely job. It's not, is it perfect? No. Is it good enough? Heck yeah. It's a very good job. Congratulations. Glad that worked for you. Let's see what the comments say. Anthony K says, tried, really? I also think you have the wrong tag. Should definitely be exceeded. Yours looks better than any other reference. Oh, what was it tagged? Surprisingly met expectation. I think they just had lower expectations for themselves. OP says, really? I thought they had better looking chicken legs. It just called for cornflakes, and I thought it would be gross, so I did Rice Krispie. And Bryce Spinach says, people actually fry chicken in cornflakes. It's really good. Yeah, people do fry their chicken in cornflakes. And always remember that you have to double dip in the dry. Do your flour, then into your liquid mixture, which is usually eggs, maybe a little bit of milk, and then the cornflakes or whatever you're using on the outside. Otherwise, it doesn't stick to your food. I have friends who just found this out recently, in the last couple of years. Okay, that's that time. You know it's that time because we just did expectation versus reality. If you have not already, please like, subscribe, turn on your notifications. Also, I guess leave a comment. Apparently, the YouTube likes that. I try to go live at least 4 times a week. Obviously, it's Christmas time, and it's only been 2, 3 times a week, maybe, if when we're lucky. And I'm usually on by noon Eastern. I was a little late today. Had to get those dishes going 'cause I need the pan. I need the pan because I need to make more. I have not been making fudge. I haven't had time or energy to do a lot. If you have a story of your own or come across a good one in the wild, please send us an email entitled submission. If you would like an email link to the today's current live, send an email entitled subscribe. The email is biddybrunchbunch, all one word, at gmail.com, and it is also in the description below. And now we have our own. Oh, and also share. Please let people know about it, especially if you know somebody who's like lives alone and is home alone all day. Um, Older people that aren't aware of Reddit, they might like it. You never know. Um, Stay-at-home moms who are home with the kids. I do try to make it PG or PG-13. Uh, so yeah, let people that are out of work. There's gonna be a lot of those. They might just want some company. Anybody that you think might want some company, tell them about it. Give them the link. Tell them to email us a subscribe request. I can do that for a while. That will probably end at some point. Someone was supposed to be doing a Discord for me, but that has not happened. I mean, things happen. Things are things. So this is our own expectation versus reality. I bought this at Five Below over the weekend to do with the kids yesterday. Isn't it cute? They love trains. The boys love their trains, so I thought it would be cute. So let's see if I can. I might have to do a little finagling here because I did not test this. Um, no, it's not working. Okay, that is not going to work. Um, I'm gonna have to copy and paste something here. Okay. Do. Yeah, it'll just take a minute. That one came out. That one came out. Okay. See if this works. No promises. Oh, it did. Okay. Cool. Okay. This is this is that. He was okay. So the BW, the 2-year-old, opted out completely. He wanted to go watch his tractors because he's tractor boy. So this is what WB uh, and I did. Um, he really liked the building of it. I left him at the at the decorating, and he told him to go hog wild. And this is what he did. Like literally 5. It was a little sprinkles. It was just a little container of sprinkles. He did 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he was done. Mostly to gingerbread man. The gingerbread man sprinkles are really cute, by the way. Um, but yeah, so that's our expectation versus reality. And then I sent this to my daughter-in-law, or my daughter, not my daughter-in-law, my daughter, and she um she called him. She called him. I'm gonna delete this because I don't need it. Where's my delete? There it is. Okay. I don't need to keep that. But I thought it was cute. I thought it was really funny. He just didn't want to decorate. Loved building it. Building it was great. We had a great time building it. Did not want to decorate. And I wanted it to be his work, so I wasn't going to decorate it for him. Because that's how I am. All right, and now we have real estate. Where are all the pictures? Oh. That's interesting. This one must have gotten sold. Okay, there's only a couple pictures then. It was supposed to be this one, but it did not turn out to be this one. Oh, what's it called? It's called a little on the different side, and it's different. It's very curvy. It's another very curvy. Oh my gosh, share. What am I doing? There we go. It is a look on the curvy side there. So I gotta go over here. It's curvaceous. It's a nice curvy girl. Oh, that's cute. I like that. I hope those the windows in those that door doesn't ever get broken because those would be a nightmare. Windows are expensive, people. Let me tell you. That's nice. I like it. I rather like it. Very nice. Wonder what those three doors are. That's cute. I don't have a problem with that at all. Oh, look, it's not white. I love that kitchen. That is gorgeous. And I love how it continues the house curvy theme. It's very, very themed. It's a very themed house, but it's themed in a nice way, I think. Oh, it's even got an indoor pool. Look at that. Cool, cool, cool. That's very cool. Yeah, I'm gonna buy this. I'm kidding. I'm never gonna. It even continues in the bathroom. That is very interesting. This seems like a waste of space. Seems like I wonder if that opens up. I hope it opens up because that seems like otherwise a waste of space. Beautiful garden in the back that you can watch while you're in your tub. Okay, that's weird. That is weird. That's really weird. What the heck is up with that? I'm so confused. Oh, I want to see the floor plan now. Oh. Problem is, where do you put your furniture? Or do you have curvy furniture? My uncle used to have a round bed, so that would fit in there nicely. I don't see the point of taking a picture of the. Well, the least you could do is clean the bird poop off before you took the picture, dude. That is a big house, man. Look at that. It's ginormous. It's ginormous. I wish there was more pictures, but the listing does not show that. It just shows a map. So that's kind of a bummer. Hmm. Okay. I have to look some more stuff up on that for sure. Yeah, the listing shows a map. It's a bummer. It changed. Okay. Next we have confession, and it's entitled "I robbed an obnoxious couple at a concert as revenge." My friend and I, both women around 5'5", went to a concert recently at a venue that could hold around 600 people. We got there early enough to be a good distance from the stage, and we were standing and chanting with all the people around us. It seemed like we were going to have a good crowd, and I was excited. What I didn't expect was the couple of front of us was absolutely trashed. Well, that's obnoxious. I don't think theft is in any way ever the right thing to do, but yeah, they were obnoxious. This couple were both drinking and getting high, even though the security told them to stop lighting up inside. They even had their underage daughter with them. This was not a concert for children. So obviously, these people do not make good decisions. They probably smelled like cigarettes and bad decisions. Anyway, the opener comes on, and the couple in front of us starts dancing back into my friend and I. We're pushing them forward as best we can. This went on for most of the opener, but these two people could feel nothing and they were so far gone. Or maybe they could. Maybe they could and they were doing it on purpose. Guy was wearing a backpack with a cheap, sharp metal zipper and was rubbing my arm and it hurt. Someone else got security to come talk to them because I was egregious, pushing for no reason, which did nothing. At this point, I'm upset. Nothing is getting through to these people. The venue is so full now, it's hard to move to a different spot. Then the headliner comes on and they start backing into us again. I'm so pissed off that I opened the guy's backpack and start pulling stuff out and throwing it on the floor because I was so tired of them. I pulled out water bottles, a charger, a battery pack, a purse, and took off the charm hanging from the bag. Eventually, they tried to lighten up another joint, and that's what got him kicked out, but not before I almost emptied their bag. Wow. You are so out of it that you don't even know that somebody's taking stuff out of your bag and throwing it on the ground. This is how not to behave. This is why we're here. This is what you don't do. You need to learn how to behave by looking at what other people do when they are not behaving, and don't do that. When my kids are little, I call this lessons in how not to behave. And it does work. If your kids are smart, it works. Economic Prune says, hey, just curious if anybody from the concert last night has seen my battery pack and charm purse. I must have misplaced them during the show. Thanks. Beneficial Garden answers, I'm on a related note. Has anyone seen my parents? I was at a concert last night with them and they got pretty trashed. Like, when are they not, But we got separated and I can't find them. I'm still at the venue since they're my ride. I think it's perspective. Agreeable Abby says, you would not believe the night we had. We were pretty trashed and stole this battery pack and charger from another concert goer. They accused us of when the police checked our bag, they couldn't find a darn thing. It was a really lucky night for us, except for this annoying person who kept pushing us forward. Oh, this is why I come to Reddit. That's why I come to Reddit. Reddit's hilarious. It's great. Uh, I don't agree with theft, but that's pretty funny. And maybe the right thing to do. I don't know. Hopefully they learn. They probably didn't. They probably didn't learn the message at all. Interesting as Wang. I think it's a good thing. Photographer catches spectacular photo of skydiver passing in front of the sun. This is really cool. So I will definitely share it. It is really cool picture. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Oh my gosh. That's so cool. That is amazing. Look at the eruptions. These are what give us this stuff, folks, is what gives us the Aurora Borealis. And I just mispronounced Aurora Borealis. That is so cool. Okay. Big Way Smaller says it's a album cover material. Yeah, it is. It's cool. All right. Now we have Am I the A-hole? AITA for asking my sister-in-law what she's doing with her degree after she implied my university wasn't prestigious enough. I have a feeling sister-in-law is a stay-at-home mom or something. Which, I mean, I was a stay-at-home mom, but I use my degree every day. I use my degree still to this day. Like, it's helpful. You learn how to learn. Last night, my husband and our 2-year-old daughter were at my in-laws. My sister-in-law and her husband and kids were there too. The topic of one of their cousins' kids going to university came up. We talked about how going to a good university helps in networking. I mentioned how I got my first business analyst job because my interviewer had also gone to U of T. At this point, my sister-in-law chimed in with a U of T of Mississauga, right? So not the actual one. My husband said politely that it's the same thing, and she shrugged off. I asked where she went, and she said she went to U of T and added St. George campus. Then I asked how she's using her degree. I know she's a stay-at-home mom, so that's why here I might think had been the a-hole thing to say, and she said she chose to be a stay-at-home mom and kinda stopped talking to me. Um, I mean, in a normal conversation, it would be a bad thing, but because of her attitude, it's not. My husband thinks I was out of line. Admittedly, I didn't think it through when I said it. That happens. I just came what I just said what came to my mind. He says her question was tactless but not malicious. No, I don't think so. I said it was rude and that's what mattered, and the premise was of it was just wrong. But I have been reconsidering it. She has texted him about how out of line I was. He's told her it was a misunderstanding between everyone, so to let it go. AITA. Update. I was heartened by all the NTA votes. I read a lot of the comments and really appreciate those saying I wasn't in the instigator, so I was in the clear. As I read more comments, the way my sister-in-law was being mentioned, it made me feel bad. I don't blame the comments. They were only going to by the context I provided, but the fact that my still being criticized heavily was making me uneasy as a cue to mend the relationship. She isn't a bad person. Her and I aren't BFFs, but have been cordial to one another. The NTA verdict had given me the peace of mind that my reply wasn't totally uncalled for. So I asked my husband if she was still messaging him. He said she'd just sent the final wall of text on how hurt she was and then gone quiet. I asked him what he thought, and he said he told her that the remark was thoughtless, but told me that there were levels to this. My reply really cut her. I told him I was willing to apologize if she did too. Last night I got a call from her. She said that she realized her comment about UTM had come across as insulting and that was not her intention. So she was just trying to clarify where she went to college, probably. She said she was really proud of me and my career and the way I juggled it all with being a mom and apologized for her remark. I thanked her and said my comment about her degree was out of line, that she is an awesome mother and my remark had zero thought behind it. It was just me saying whatever I could in the moment. She broke down a bit, and honestly, that made me feel terrible. I teared up too, and we just agreed to put this behind us. Like I mentioned in my original post, my reply was instinctive, but I don't think she's wasting her degree, and I hope her comment of it had equally no thought behind it. But I'm glad I patched up with her. This is good. This is a good outcome. The girls are talking. Maybe they'll become BFFs now. You can get over that. It was a misunderstanding. It happens sometimes. Sometimes you take offense to something that was said that the person didn't mean it the way you heard it, and you say something back that's just as that's as mean as you heard what they said, and even though that was not their intention. So that's a good outcome. I'm glad they're talking. That's awesome. Next is from Overheard, entitled Overheard Trick or Treating. Remember, this is from last month or from November. Kid gets a Reese's peanut butter cup at the door. Kid says rats. Man handing out the candy says, "What's the matter, sport? Don't you like Reese's?" Kid says, "No, because my dad eats those ones." Yeah, I always left some of them, but I did steal a lot of them. I'm not gonna lie. The kids didn't seem to care. They still don't seem to care. They say it's mom tax for taking them trick or treating and doing all the stuff I did for them all year round. My kids are sweet. um, I was Goatbeard first says a little girl pulled a chocolate bar out of my bowl and said, "These are my teacher's favorite." I told her to get another piece for myself and asked if she wanted to take anything else for the grown-ups in her life might like. "No, really, please take some more of this candy. I'm trying not to be out here till 10 p.m." Oh. Tiny human teacher says that my son grabbed candy for me and says it's because he's making milk for my sister. It's thoughtful, and a lot of people gave him handfuls of extra candy, so I think he started saying it to see if he'd get extra. Oh, that's cute. Misbehaving says I've had that teacher who was so special you would trick or treat for them instead of yourself. This makes me happy, and hopefully they are still out there. Thank you for all the teachers and to you for encouraging it by giving extra. Yeah, for sure. Dying Light said, I had a lecturer like this from university. She was wonderful. She once mentioned how she liked Cadbury's chocolate buttons. So on a few of occasions, I left a bag on her desk before the lecture started. Her face was priceless. Aw, that's nice. Yeah, if your teacher or your mom or your dad or your boss at work that you like says, "Hey, I really like this thing." Get it for him once in a while, especially if it's not expensive. My daughter claims she's going to get me a Dubai bar. I don't even know if I'm going to like it. It was $14, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not buying that for myself for sure. Not buying that for myself. Maybe I will if she forgets, but she might. She's got a lot going on. Next is true off my chest. Today, my mother lifted a lifelong weight and pain off me in less than 30 seconds. I wasn't sure what to tag this, but went with positive as WTF did not seem to be an option. I posted a couple of times this week about firstly what my a-hole father is, etc., and how he ruined my life. Then the next day, one about where I had been uninvited to Christmas dinner. Nothing to do with the post, by the way. He just decided I didn't deserve it this year. Thanks so much for the blame. Anyway, my mother has been visiting, and she knew how upset I was about it. My dad hates her visiting, so she has to save up her own money for months. Oh, your dad just sounds awful. As she was leaving to get into the taxi this morning, she turned to me, looked at me in the eye, and said, "Sorcy, Sorche, Sorche." Ah, it's that Circe. Circe, it's Circe. Circe, your father is a snob and a coward. Don't ever think you have to earn his love because it should be the other way around. 100%. Your kids owe you nothing. You owe your kids everything. And when she gave me a hug and left for the airport, I don't know what to feel right now, like the weight of meeting a lifetime of expectations is finally gone. For how long? Forever? For her to get up the guts to say those words to me, it must have taken a lot. She's in an extremely controlling relationship with my father. What he says goes. It's one of the reasons she loves visiting me. She can act more like a carefree young person rather than a caged housewife with a retired husband who watches her every move. All I can say is it felt fantastic to hear. You need to get your mother out of there. You need to get your mother away from that guy, dude. That's so sad. It's a girl. I still call girls dudes. Sue me. I don't care. Next is on what to do. Pregnant with potentially dying boyfriend's baby. Ooh. Alt count because I cannot have this traced to me. 2 weeks ago, my 21-year-old boyfriend, 22, was suddenly diagnosed with leukemia, and unfortunately, they think it's terminal and are giving him less than a year. He's been in a mental place since then, where he's clearly depressed about it, but also not opening up about it. Meanwhile, I was late on my period, and yesterday I decided to take a pregnancy test. It was positive. I told my boyfriend last night. It changed his mood a lot. He said things like, "My life won't be meaningless after all. Clearly assuming I'll keep the baby." And a part of me wants to. Like, we're pretty serious and had talked about having children in the future had it not been for his diagnosis. I think I'd certainly be for keeping this one since it shouldn't come until we're both graduated from college. But circumstances being what they are, I really want him to have his legacy here or whatever, because I get how crappy it must feel to be on the verge of being a full-time member of society and have that taken from you. But I'm just thinking realistically here, who knows if he will even get to meet his baby. And then I'm left to be a single mother. I know I could do it, but I also know how hard it would be. Yeah, that's a really hard decision. Do you go through with this knowing that you're going to have this baby for the rest of your life? It's going to be yours. Can you do it? Can you give this baby everything that they deserve while being a single mom without a father around or ever having a father around? Because they're never they're never ever ever going to remember their father at all. It's no possible way. You don't even get permanent memories until you're 3 or almost 3. So, I mean, the baby's not going to have any benefit of it. It's only benefiting him, and he's dying. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. I'm so sorry. I don't have any advice because it's not my life. This is definitely one of those that you have to look at yourself and decide for yourself what you're going to do. Because no one can make that decision for you or even help you make that decision. Because you have to weigh, you are the only one that knows all of the parameters. And even if you tell someone what you think are all of the parameters, you're going to miss stuff. And there's going to be stuff you haven't even thought of. So heartbreaking. Obstetrics says no right or wrong answers. This is above Reddit's pay grade. I think a trip to the doctor to confirm the pregnancy is in order to follow by some individual and couples counseling to decide how to proceed. Do what feels right to you, OP. It's your body and your life. Yes, it's your life because he won't be in the picture. It's so hard. It's so hard. I can understand how torn she is. I can understand how torn she is about that because you're committing yourself to a lifelong thing, a lifelong relationship. It may go well, it may not go well. You don't know. Are you going to be able to provide for it the way a child the way they deserve or not? Are you really? And then are you really, really? Kids are expensive. And when you're a single mom with no, I mean, she would have some income on, but he's only 21. Has he even worked enough to get Social Security? And that's only for the first 18 years. Next we have entitled parents. Entitled, my dad said I owed him reimbursement for moving out because I'm taking my stuff with me. What? Some parents, I tell you, man. So I finally moved out of my parents' home after college. Nothing dramatic, just got a small apartment with a friend. My dad sees me packing up my bedroom furniture and goes, "You're taking that?" And I'm like, "Yes, this is my dresser." He goes, "Well, I bought it. So if you're taking it, you owe me $300. I thought he was joking. Nope, dead serious. Well, first of all, if you spent $300 on it, sir, it's only worth, hold on, I gotta do math. Ah, this thing is driving me nuts. Okay, if I get rid of this, it'll probably work. Okay. Nope, still won't work. I'm telling you, the text bar on my computer is driving me to drink. Okay, calculator. 300. Oops. Oh, I can't even do that on here. Okay. Parent clear. 75 bucks. Because things that you sell, unless they're like antiques and stuff, they're only worth about 25% what you bought. So at most, he owes her. She would owe him $75. I thought he was joking. Nope, dead serious. He starts listing everything he ever bought me. These are gifts. These are gifts. You don't charge people for gifts that you give them. My childhood bed, my desk I've had since I was 14, the lamp from Walmart, even the curtains. He literally says those curtains weren't free. You think you can just walk away with them? My mom stepped in and said she's not paying for curtains for 2012. He goes, it's the principle. The principle? I ended up buying my own cheap furniture and leaving everything behind just so he couldn't invoice me. The man texted me later, says, don't forget you owe me rent for raising you. Who are these people? Oh my goodness. Sir, please. Yes, exactly. Sir, please. I know people that have like made their kids buy everything for themselves when they started at like 12 years old. They had to buy their own bed sheets. It's ridiculous. People treat their kids ridiculously. Jocelyn says, don't forget that you are my father and that you have a legal and financially obligation to raise me because bringing to me into the world was your choice, not mine. 100%. Solid vomit reminds me of a TikTok I saw. Some older woman had been cut off by her kids saying she makes content around this subject. I think she talks about things they said to her about their upbringing. In the video I saw, she was talking about her kids saying they didn't ask to be born. And she went on this whole rant about how she didn't ask specifically for that child to be born. Yes, I chose to have a child, but I didn't specifically want you. I've seen references to that. I didn't look at it. It's very recent. I was gob saying, like, damn, no wonder your kids hate you. Yeah, who treats their kids like this? This is not how you have a relationship with your children. Oh my goodness. Lyndon says, wow, having a child is not like buying a pair of jeans from Amazon. You can't send it back because it doesn't fit you. Oh, it's Doormat Mom. I've heard of her. I'm not super familiar with her, but I have heard of Doormat Mom. She's an idiot, from what I understand. Tiger Shark. And along those lines, I also have the right to charge you for the emotional trauma and the associated financial damages of therapy and medication costs. Uh, Somebody asked if that's a thing, and she says probably not, but that petty BS would be laughed off out of same small claims court too. No, that is an actual thing. At least in Australia, it is. I was listening to the Friendly Atheist this morning, and he said that there is a, a woman in Australia who was assaulted by her own father while the rest of the family was out of town. Why those two hung back, and um she's now 50, 51, 52 years old. She sued him, and he has to pay her a bunch of money, but because of the trauma he incurred on her, she can't keep a job, she can't do what she wants, she wants to do. She's like really messed up by him and by the Jehovah's Witnesses didn't um that didn't report it at the time because they knew, because she told them, and they had some kind of thing about it, and it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous what he did to her. Um, it's today's Friendly Atheist, if you today or yesterday, if you want to go look at that. Um, yeah, and she sued and she won. And she won because Australia takes this stuff seriously. So yeah, it can be a thing. You can sue for trauma. Okay. Next we have Bye Bye Job, and it says employee wins graphic card and raffle on a business trip. Company demands he hand it over because they paid for the trip. He refuses, so HR tells him to look for another job and pressures him into resigning. That's insanity. Why? That had nothing to do with the business trip. It just happened to be there. It doesn't make it the company's thing. Guess we'll have to look at it. What kind of company makes all the fuss for $400? No kidding. Went straight to the comments. I don't know why. Maybe I read this before. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, no, that's about the author. Where's my cursor? It's happened on November 14th. Company in Shanghai sent an intern on a business trip, and in an NVIDIA roadshow event. At the end, there was a stamp collecting raffle. It was open to everybody. Did the company pay for him to participate in the raffle? Usually that entails some money. Um, he was told that even my colleague. Okay, so he won a GPU. He was told by a colleague that the finance department had already caught wind of it, and the company would bear the costs. He should hand over the GPU. No. Later on, they reminisced about how accounts knew no such thing, revealing that perhaps the coworker was just jealous in hindsight. Regardless, the news spread quickly. And it took a downturn from there. The firm grew more contentious because it was acquired as part of a business trip. So what? Entirely paid by the company. So? You didn't pay for that? And he'd never won it if it wasn't there. Okay, that's called chance. That's what raffles are all about. Oh. Didn't confiscate it, but they did tell him to look for another company. Yeah, you don't want to work for them anyway. Lawyers discussing the case sided with the intern, saying a prize won by random chance belongs to the person holding the ticket. It doesn't matter how they got the ticket. Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. Yes, comments down here. Okay. What kind of company makes a fuss over $400? What kind of employee does? It says two examples. People don't have large income, such as $400 makes a big difference, and people care more about doing the right thing rather than the dollar value. I'm sure that should be enough. On principle alone, I'd quit as well. Yeah, no kidding. That's insanity. Personal dude says, I worked for a very small company and they had a Christmas party at a resort, and then some people went gambling at the casino afterwards. One of the employees won maybe $7,500, and their manager tried to claim it for the department. No, the winner refused, and it actually caused big confrontation in the casino. The manager was told to leave. It rolled over to the incoming coming weeks, and the winner said, if everything is yours because you booked the room, then you'll be covering the speeding ticket Susan got on the way down there, right? Eventually, HR consulted with the lawyer and told the manager to back down, that the money didn't belong to the did belong to the winner. She was ready to give it up regardless because of the drama, but couldn't figure out the tax implications. There's a good point. People were weird about it for the remainder of both their time with the company, though, and the manager left about 6 months later, and the winner left a few months after that. Pro tip, if you win anything at work, don't no, you didn't. I didn't win that money. I put it right back in the machine. Put it right back in the machine. I'm glad I don't have to worry about stuff like this anymore. I'm also glad that I did not have to drive to work this morning because apparently it was really icy out, even though the weather was pretty warm. Operation Difficult said the smarter line would have been, you're covering the gambling losses of all the other employees who indulged but didn't hit it, right? Right? No kidding. Yeah. You bring in light says, how is that legal? Are you technically at work 24/7 when on a work trip? Well, no, because you're not getting paid for the whole thing. If they want it, better be paying me for the 24 hours I'm there every day. This is from Ono Consequences, entitled, I publicly did name my nephew at my wedding. Why did my brother leave? And it's originally from Am I the A-hole from 4 years ago. AITA for storming off from my sister's wedding after she dead named my son. Nope, you're not. I, 45-year-old single father of three. Their mother died 10 years ago. Oh, I'm sorry, OP. That's sad. I have three sons, 17-year-old Andrew, 15-year-old Connor, and 14-year-old Max. Connor was born female. He is trans. He came out of trans 5 years ago, so when he was 10. And now has socially transitioned, but not yet physically, of course, because he's only 15. And if you know anything about transitioning, you know that 15-year-olds cannot have surgeries. My sister, 38 female, just got married. Me and my sons were also invited. My family has known that Connor is trans for 2 years now, and some have adjusted well, some not so much. My sister is pretty indifferent about it. Her wedding was really super well organized to the last detail. She wanted all the men to wear shirt and tie and then women's sundresses. I texted her a picture of their outfits the day before the wedding. She said, where's Nia's dress? Nia is Connor, by the way. I was a bit surprised, and I told her not to dead name my son and that he'll be wearing a shirt and tie like the rest of the men, or we aren't coming. And she said fine, and that was it. At the reception, my sister got mad that Connor was wearing a tie, but didn't say much after that. When we sat down at our table, the card read Nia. You were just told this. You were just told this. You're doing this on purpose. I went to my sister, and she said she used her real name. Her real name is not that. His name is Connor. That's his real name. I told her me and the boys were leaving, and she said, don't you dare cause a scene at my wedding. Nia can be a guy any other day. I called her a bigot and we left. My family says I ruined her wedding. Nope, she ruined her own wedding. She ruined her own wedding by being a bitch. The mermaid paint, which is a mod, says a reminder that we don't tolerate transphobia in this subreddit. Continue reporting any transphobes that pop up, and we will remove the comments and use the ban hammer. Good. They said, irrespective of gender identity and transphobia, isn't it normal to address people by their preferred name? Sister chose a stupid time to make a point. She didn't make any point. She didn't have any point to make. Natos Julie says, as someone in the comments of the original post, especially at a wedding, she's also changing her name. She may not be. But yeah. Significant bad people call Diddy an objectively bad person by his preferred name, but God forbid they do the same for a trans person. Yeah. Okay, people don't call people what they want to be called. Stop this nonsense. You're called what you want to be called. Everybody respects it. So call people their names that they want to go by. If Benjamin wants to go by Ben, that's fine. If he wants to go by Jay, that's fine. If he wants to go by Beatrice because he's transitioned into a woman, then call her Beatrice. And yes, use the proper pronouns. Don't be a jerk. No One Special says, if your name is Henry or Juliet, what if you want to be called Hank or Jules? Yeah. I'm offended by the bride. I'm offended by people called Jennifer, Jenny, or Ronald, Ronnie without asking. That is definitely not the a-hole. I don't get that for sure. So, play a Psych fan? It's not registering me. It's been a while since I watched Psych, I guess. Maybe I should watch it again. Penny Marvel says yes, and it's not just a trans person issue. I have a grown nephew that went by AJ as a child, but starting at age 7, he preferred to be called Andrew. I slipped up a few times in the beginning, but now everyone calls him Andrew. It's just respectful, edited for grammar. Yeah. There are several people that go by different names than what they were born with, and it's fine. It's fine. Next is from Am I Overreacting? AIO, a locksmith charged my partner's sister $5,390 to get back into her apartment. That's a lot of money. I don't know. Maybe somebody can tell me if this is legit or not, because this seems like a lot of money. It's like the service was $350. The drill mortise, I can't read part of it. Fix the mechanism. $1,100 to fix a mechanism. Your service was only $350. New mortise, fix frame. The door adjustment. You fix the frame. The door adjustment should be included in that. Fixed hinge, $375 to fix a hinge. Are you kidding me? And labor was $400. That is insanity. Insanity. It says this has to be a scam, right? My partner's sister got locked out of her apartment the other night and called 24/7 service in LA. Well, there you go. When the guy got there, he said none of the mechanics on the door actually worked, so he drilled into her lock and took the entire thing apart. It was the middle of the night, so she didn't have much choice. When he was done, he gave her his bill. I thought she was saying it was $500, not $5,000. This has to be a scam, right? I'm furious right now. Alphabet Soup says, if he do break the whole wall down, contact state licensing board and go to court. Have her contact her credit card company as well. They may be able to stop it. Angie Not Angel says she should, in all honesty, dispute the charges stolen because I don't see them reversing the charges for a scam. Oh, they will reverse the charges for a scam. If you do let them dispute it as a scam, you can let me know how you did, or does my bank suck? Your bank sucks. Was it your credit card or was it your debit card? Because there's a difference, and there's a difference in how they handle those. Funky Fungus says $400 for drilling a lock. You'd think it'd be find under labor. You gotta go. You got it. Yeah. Never give up. Never don't give up. Says, did he write that invoice with his foot? No, that is not overreacting. That is insanity. Holy cow. Yeah, that guy sounds like he's ripping people off left and right. And we have best of Redditor updates, or as we like to call it, Boru. Looks like the DA I'm going to trial with tomorrow used AI to write her mother-in-law's because so far every case cited is fake. I'm so excited for the court in the morning. Yeah, that'll be juicy. If you don't know, people have tried to use AI to write court documents, very famous ones. They got caught because none of the citations were correct. Because AI lies, it hallucinates, it makes stuff up, and is not very good. So they were posting in public defender's subreddit originally Friday, August, September 19th, 2025. Commenter, I'm brimming with excitement on your behalf. Hopefully you can turn this into some kind of win for your client. Okay. you're on. Like, apparently, there was no text to it. It was just that. Oh, maybe not. Hold on. Well, that just went to the same thing. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay, no, she just did. Okay. No, she didn't put any body text to it. So it's just the headline. Edit 2. I sent an email 5 minutes before court that simply said, regarding your filed motions, it appears none of your cited authority actually exists. The DA just no-showed. Somebody else had to make the appearance. The DA is now ordered present at 1 o'clock to explain herself. Let your colleague know that we can always have her brought here if she can't get here on her own. Yeah, they will bring you to court if they need to. The popo will go pick you up and bring you to court. Witnesses, everybody. Was the quote of the day so far. But unfortunately, my client attacked a guard at the jail and was not transported, so everything is total crap at the moment. Oh, edit 3. It's so much worse than it originally seemed. Found out she straight up lied to the court about her communications with Leah's legal something regarding the case. Edit 4. She can't be present at 1 a.m. because she's being sanctioned for misrepresentation in another matter at that time. Oh, where is this? I want to know. I'm losing my mind. How is this real? She's not a new attorney. Back at 2 p.m. Edit 5. Final update before Monday, probably. I'm at the trial court with 3 other trials, and the judge is absolutely livid. The judge ordered the client released from custody for reasons too complicated to get into, and the DA who filed a MILs. I don't know what MILs. Usually that's mother-in-laws for us. So maybe some courty person can tell me. Sarah, where are you when I need you? MILs tried to get the court to order me personally to transport him next week based on the same case law I already told her was fake. She quoted the exact same language that didn't exist and said the courts have held but never cited anything. I asked for a citation and she said she doesn't have one right now. How did she get elected to DA? The judge literally yelled enough and ordered everyone present on Monday afternoon. She wants a new briefing from me on her words. What the wang is even happening here? Wang. The DA is not permitted to amend her file MILs, but may file a supplement. I think we'd all like to hear you argue exactly what you cited in your motions, Miss DA. The development has kicked this all up a notch that the deputies are telling us there was no fight at the jail. No one can figure out where that came from. The DA told the sheriffs he would not need to be transported today if he wasn't cooperative. Then they woke him up for transport. He was groggy and slow, so they decided it meant he was refusing to go to court. Okay, that sounds like a setup from the DA. That sounds like she does this a lot. Oh, if they don't want to come, they don't have to come. They don't need transport if they don't want to come, which is code for I don't want him here. That's what that is. They're codes that people use. There's at least one deputy who said he tried to tell both DA and his boss that it was wrong and he needed to go to court, but they didn't listen. I wish I could give everyone a rundown of the exact legal issues, but I'm changing details to prefer some degree of anonymity for both myself and the client. Final update doesn't have a date. Judgment dismissal of all charges in the interest of justice due to prosecutorial misconduct and referral to the state bar. The judge went through the motions in limine. That one I'm familiar with. And each time made a finding that the DA had cited non-existent authorities and denied them, commenting about halfway through that it was starting to seem a little suspicious. The judge was also kind of grossed out by how nakedly one-sided several of the motions were, like one very bizarre request that the prosecution be allowed to make a motion for a directed verdict before the defense put on their case. I deliberately structured my motion so the big ones would be last. All of her evidence was excluded along with her witness for due process violations regarding notice and compensation. Judge delivered a zinger at this point, so vicious it felt like a gun went off, but I can't think of another way to share it without doxing myself. Right before we get to big MIL about the lying and my suspicions regarding AI use, the DA asked for a recess because she needs to speak with her supervisor. Who's the supervisor's DA? Who's the DA's supervisor? She returns and said, in light of your rulings this morning and the prejudice they will cause to the state's case, we no longer feel there is a reasonable possibility of conviction. The judge interrupts, agreed. The matter is dismissed in the interest of justice for substantive due process violations arising from the misrepresentations and misconduct of the prosecution. This is based on the declaration of defense counsel filed this morning and the court's own observations as to the numerous illegal citations in the state's pleadings. Transcripts are ordered and counsel for the state is referred to for an order to show cause before the state bar. I've been transparent about the fact that I am changing many details to preserve confidentiality, but here's the core of what transpired. An attorney for the state tried to deprive someone of their most basic civil rights by fabricating statements from jail staff regarding the behavior of that client and use fake AI-generated authorities in an absolutely fake AI-generated pleading. After reviewing my history of communication with this attorney, I discovered this had been an issue for quite some time. But you will all be pleased to hear that nothing in quotes is pretty much verbatim. Anything in quotes is pretty much verbatim. I love this judge so much because she does not put up with bullcrap. Needless to say, I'm exhausted, but I have enjoyed you joining me on this journey. Ultimately, though, I just feel kind of sick in my stomach that this happened in the first place. Wow. Groin Reaper says, my understanding of what this actually means is 1, this DA has been using AI to half-ass their job for a while. 2, in this specific case, the AI hallucinated a lot, and it was really obvious. I mean, if you're citing imaginary court cases, that's easy to find out. That's really easy to find out for a lawyer. It's really easy. When this was pointed out to the court, the DA sent another attorney in her place to try and hide from it. 4, when that didn't work, she had the jail staff lie and say the accused was being uncooperative to try to create an excuse for why the case needed to be postponed. 5, all of this blew up in her face massively. The case got dropped and she may be disbarred. Or not. Who knows? I hope she gets disbarred. Somebody says probably not, but I'm sure it gives pretty fantastic grounds for an appeal. And Storm Beyond Time says, I think it depends on how much it locally blows up. There was a show in the 90s called Superior Court, fictional dramatization of real court cases, usually civil cases. One involved a guy who had been a cop running a lie detector test, which were only just beginning to be seen as problematic by the public at large, for the police around 15 years, and then went on to work for a department store company doing the same thing. People were threatened with being fired if they didn't show up for the testing. Then a couple were fired anyway, and one sued. Turned out the guy had not been running the tests according to established procedures, which was pointed out by another lie detector expert brought in. First guy would just slap the bands and stuff on them and start firing questions at them. Nope. Plaintiff 1 used the money to go to school to be a nurse, according to the closing text. Nearly a decade later, while reading about true crime, I came across what was probably the actual case. It matched in nearly every way. The main difference were different races for the plaintiff and the lie detector expert who explained how the guy effed up, or a gender swap of one of the witnesses. Plaintiff black to Hispanic, expert black to white. Original case happened in the late 1980s. That one apparently created enough of a local ruckus at the time that any case that guy had touched was reviewed. Unfortunately, the account only mentioned the details of the 2 cases. In one, the other evidence had been found in the meantime, and the review due to the lie detection test examined that as well. It got to the 2 worst charges sentence reversed, but he had 2 more as he was still in for. He was looking to get out in 2 years rather than 10 or 15, though. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. The only other, since the confession from the text was what the case had mostly rested on, the whole conviction got tossed. I suspect the only reason either defendant got compensation was due to the ongoing public publicity mentioned in the account. Probably. Old School Geek says, I loved Superior Court, came on right after the judge and before the People's Court. Somebody else said they loved the judge. And they didn't like the judge on People's Court, but they liked Judge Million. Okay. Next we have Made Me Smile for our end. It says, biologist becomes emotional after finding a flower after searching for 13 years. So, here we go. Woo-woo. Sound on.
He's crying. Oh. It's okay. We did it. We found it. We found it, my friend. We made it. We made it.
Oh, look at that.
Kasian ya, penghargaan udah dapat. Gara-gara dia main harimau itu kan, ya. Bapaknya dulu yang main. Bapaknya pemimpin tuh. Awak kenal karena.
Tell me how you feel that we found this plant.
But this is very amazing. This is complete for me for the habitat modern Acacia for the Sumatra.
And you've been looking for
Looks like
13
years. 13 years old.
And here it is.
Chris, are you very lucky, Chris?
I'm very lucky. I'm the luckiest guy alive.
That was cute. That's very nice. The top comment is, I assume this will be my reaction after finding a well-paying job after 13 years of searching. Cyberpunk Tradie says, no, the flower exists. Oh. 8-bit queef says, for some reason, I was expecting something small and delicate, not something you should feed a squirrel to. Oh, well, that's cool. All right. That's all I got for today, guys. I will be back on Friday. Because today's Tuesday, right? Wednesday is Christmas Eve, so it's Christmas Eve today. So happy Christmas Eve. Um, Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. We have to do our last minute stuff. I have to get salad. I have to get some salad. I'm supposed to take salad to my dad's, so we'll be doing that. And what else are we doing? Last minute Christmas stuff. Stuff for the stockings. Gotta get new stockings for some people. And what else? Yeah. So that's what we're doing. That's what we be doing tomorrow. And then Thursday's Christmas. I'll be at my daddy's. Going to see my daddy. And then I'll be back on Friday. My husband has work anyway, so that'll work. And I don't have to pre-cook, so because we're getting KFC or something. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go out now. It's pretty warm outside, so it should be nice. I find my new jacket, which I was looking for the other day and couldn't find. Um, so the weather's supposed to be good here in Michigan. I don't know what it's gonna be like in your neck of the woods. I heard some people's getting dumped on, but it's not supposed to be bad here. So Michigan, sometimes we have advantages and things go south. Good for us, but bad for people south or north. We're just in a really good spot right here with the Lake Michigan does a good job of protection. Lake Michigan does a really good protection job for us. So anyway, have a good Christmas. I love you all, biddies. Bye. Bye. Find my thing. Bye.